America. None of it has been the Confederacy for the last few 150 years. Yet some Americans insist on flying, wearing, and otherwise celebrating that. They insist they're using that flag to celebrate Confederate heritage and history because that flag is the Confederate flag. But there's a problem with that. The problem is, that's not the Confederate flag. That's certainly a Confederate flag, sort of, if you guys don't give a shit. See, when it came to flags, the Confederacy was like that guy on your freshman year dorm floor who's somehow still in college. They had 4 years to pick something, but no, they rotated through plan after comically impractical plan. And none of the Confederacy's flag plans were this. This is a modern creation, whereas this design was the first Confederate flag. Sort of. This unofficial flag, called the Bonnie Blue flag, was popular early in the war. Goofy palmetto-based flag designs like this one were used after South Carolina seceded and didn't know what to do besides hate Lincoln all by themselves. But this stars and bars design was the first official Confederate flag. The Confederacy added more stars as more U.S. states seceded, then they added 2 more stars when they just kinda decided Kentucky and Missouri ought to secede, and hey, maybe wishful flag design can guilt a state into treason. Either way, everybody in the Confederacy hated this flag because it looked a lot like the Union/US flag. That was more than a style issue. Confederate commanders couldn't tell these flags apart in battle, and these samey flags were in battles where one army was Americans wearing blue, and the other army was Americans wearing what blue looks like when it's dirty. Luckily, the Rebs fixed that combat hiccup after a brief 2 years. Wow, 2 years, okay. Anyway, they launched Confederate Flag 2.0 in March of 1863. It was nicknamed the Stainless Banner. And while you might recognize that square up there in the corner, you might also recognize the rest of this flag as the color white. Just white. This flag's designer chose white to symbolize, quote, the supremacy of the white man, end quote, and stupid thought. And in keeping with the grand tradition of racist idiots being idiots, he forgot that a white flag looks a lot like a white flag, the surrender flag. That meant Confederate troops marched into battle carrying a flag that looked like a "We Quit" sign. Luckily, the Confederacy caught this new mistake, and it only took them a short, most of 2 years. That's like an improvement. Anyway, a slightly de-whited and rescaled version of this symbol became the Confederacy's third flag in March of 1865, just in time for Robert E. Lee to surrender in April. And again, none of these Confederate flags were this flag. This flag was even officially rejected as a national flag by the Confederate Congress. Their designated flag committee picked the stars and bars instead. And yeah, I know, this general design did become famous, but as a square, and only in battle. That square was the battle flag of the Army of Northern Virginia. Robert E. Lee flew it while whipping the Union's non-alcoholic generals. But most every Civil War army had a unique battle flag. They flew it in combat below the national flag, and that makes this design less of a whole Confederacy thing and more emblematic of a specific and Gettysburg-losing military force. But somehow either that flag or this incredibly obscure flag that was the second draft of the Confederate Navy Jack. What are you people, Battle of Hampton Roads superfans? Either way, one of those morphed into this modern symbol, somehow. And no matter how many people watch this video, that symbol will probably live on as the Mel Gibson of flags, an icon of racism to most of the internet, and a real historical defender of freedom to your Facebook friends. Thanks for watching. Click the thumbs up to like this video, click the subscribe button to get more videos, and use the comment section to preserve the quality of your character for posterity.